Hi guys, so this is a 60-minute flow class. It is filmed at the pedestrian bridge in Austin downtown, and it's a little bit on the more challenging side because we include some half moon in there, which is my favorite pose. But I'm trying to keep everything organized, so the beginners just being easy, medium just being flow classes, and the hard just being powers. So even though this is a little bit more challenging, it's still considered a flow because we don't do any vinyasas with upward facing dog. So anyway, I hope you guys have a blast, and I will talk to you soon. Adios. Alright guys, y'all ready to get started? Okay, so we're going to get started in child's pose. So bring your big toes to touch and get your knees out really wide. So as wide as you can get your knees so you can really sink into your hips here. And then take your arms out in front of you, palms face down, and just take your forehead to the mat. Spread your fingers out wide and just let your heart relax into your mat. Relax into your hips with every exhale, really sending your breath into your hips to open up and sink a little bit deeper. Just come into this space, leaving behind everything that happened this weekend to get started fresh in your week. Take really deep breaths. And see if you can inhale for the count of 4 and exhale for the count of 4. Pausing after your inhale, taking a slight pause as you're completely empty after your exhale. And just be comfortable with the fullness and the emptiness with your breath. This is a good time to set an intention for the work you're about to do. So moving with purpose, letting all of your asanas, your poses, be a sort of physical prayer to represent this intention. So remembering what brought you to your mat, what are you trying to work on in your life and cultivate? Or maybe just expressing gratitude, thinking of a few things you're really grateful for in your life in this moment. You know, we tend to get bogged down in the negative, but when you kind of take a step back and practice some gratitude, helps you to realize how wonderful your life actually is. Good, and let's take a few deep breaths together just to seal our intentions. So inhale through your nose, fill your whole body up with air, feeling your rib cage expand, and exhale through your mouth. Good, inhale through your nose, filling all the way to the very top. When you get to the top, hold your breath for 3, suck in a little bit more air for 2, feel really full, 1, and exhale through your mouth. Good, and just take a couple more breaths here, deepest breaths. You can massage your third eye, nodding your head back and forth, which is your intuition realm. Beautiful, and slowly start to put weight into your hands. Let's all come into a tabletop position. So your wrists right under your shoulders, knees right under your hips. Okay? And now energetically start to pull your hands towards your knees towards your hands, engaging your core here. So your belly is really tight. You're going to feel yourself shake a little bit. Engage your core for 3, 2, 1. Good, slowly release. Now point your right toes up to the sky. So we're going to get warmed up right away, okay? Inhale, and then exhale, come down halfway. Keep your toes pointed. Inhale, come back up. Then round in, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, take your toes to the sky. Exhale, come down halfway. Lift your toes high. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. Inhale, point your toes up high. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, push up. Exhale, round it. One more time. Point your toes up to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. Good, and then just come back to a neutral spine. Again, start to pull your hands towards your knees towards your hands, really engaging your core here. Good, and slowly release. Now point your left toes up to the sky. Woo, so point them up high. Try to get your leg 90-degree angle. Good, inhale. Exhale, come down halfway. Keep your toes pointed. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, point your toes up to the sky. Try to get your elbows into your body, so no butterfly wings, okay? Inhale. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, round in, knee to nose. Inhale, point your toes up to the sky. Exhale, come down halfway. Squeeze your elbows in. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, round in. Inhale, point your toes up to the sky. This is the last one. Exhale, come down halfway. Squeeze your elbows into your body. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, round in. Good, come back into your tabletop position. Start to pull your hands towards your knees towards your hands, pulling your belly button towards your spine. Shake a little bit. Good, and release. Now inhale, drop your belly down, lift your chest, lift your gaze for cow pose. Then exhale, round in, pull your belly button towards your spine. Try to look behind you. Inhale, drop your belly down, squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Beautiful work. Exhale, round in. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, gaze up. Exhale, round your back. Good, just warming up your spine, and then slowly just come into a neutral spine. Okay, and we're gonna set up our down dog. So come seated on your heels real quick. Take your arms out in front of you, slight V. Okay, spread your fingers out really, really wide. Your pinky fingers touching the edges of your mat. Okay, biceps forward, triceps back. And now tuck your toes, send your hips up and back for our first beautiful downward facing dog. Good, you can start to pedal out your feet a little bit. Just getting some blood flow, warming up the backs of your legs here. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no, relax your jaw. Everybody's down dogs look really awesome. Can you lift your hips up a little bit higher, sending your heart towards the back of the room? Beautiful. Inhale, come up to your toes, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, step to the front of your yoga mat. Beautiful. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. So we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. I want everybody, if you can, to look into the mirror if you have one. See if your back is flat. Shoulders away from your ears here. Everybody's like, can I see myself in the mirror? Okay, shoulders blades squeeze together on your back, okay? Shoulders away from your ears for 1 more breath. Exhale, come down. Good, grab opposite elbows here. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Breathe into the backs of your legs here. Just warming everything up. Good, and slowly release your hands to your mat. Inhale, come up halfway. Hands on something. Flat back, flat spine. Good, exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Top of a push-up here. Beautiful, we're gonna hold plank for 5 breaths. Engage your lower belly, micro bend in your elbows, spread your fingers out really wide. Everybody looks so good. 2 more breaths. You can always take your knees down if you need to. Inhale, shift forward, come up to your tippy toes. Then exhale, take your knees down. Untuck your toes, slowly come down to your belly, elbows grazing your rib cage. So good, you guys. Inhale, lift your chest, cobra pose, squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Then exhale, take your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Beautiful work, everybody. So just notice how down dog is feeling different as you're warming up into your body. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look between your hands, step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, make space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take your arms out and up above you. Stand up with a flat spine. Look up, palms touch, really strong arms. Beautiful. Exhale your hands to your heart. Such beautiful movements, guys. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, swan dive down, flat spine, engage your lower belly. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Beautiful. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, take your knees down, untuck your toes, slowly come down to your belly. Inhale, lift your chest for cobra. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Squeeze your elbows together behind you. Tops of your feet firmly into the ground. Internally rotating your thighs towards the ceiling helps to press your tops of your feet into the ground. So good. 2 more deep breaths. I know it's longer than 5 breaths, but you guys can do it. For 3, a little bit higher. 2, 1, slowly come down. Take your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. So we're getting nice and warm here. Few deep breaths. Make sure your biceps are coming forward. Triceps going back, making room for your shoulders to come away from your ears. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look between your hands up to the front of your yoga mat. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Now take your right foot way back to the back of your mat. Good. Take your left arm up to the sky, coming into a little twist. Beautiful. So keeping your hips squared to the mat. So you're just twisting through your belly. So make sure your left arm is really strong. Fingers spread out wide. Really strong arm. Good. Can you open up your wingspan a little bit more for 3, 2, 1, and slowly take your left hand to the mat. Now try to sneak your toes even farther back, your right toes farther back towards the back of your mat. So as far as you can get them back, and then set your right knee down. Untuck your toes, and inhale, lift your arms up to the sky, coming into a low lunge. Beautiful work. So make sure your shoulders are coming away from your ears. Pinkies towards each other kind of helps facilitate that. Beautiful. And don't just dump into your flexibility. So energetically pulling your foot towards your knee like you're trying to wrinkle up your mat underneath you. Beautiful. Now everybody interlace your fingers except your index finger. Good. Inhale, extend up. And then exhale, chin to chest, round your back and bring your index fingers to your big toe, saluting the sun. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up, engaging your belly, using your core strength. Good. And release your hands, bend your elbows, open up your chest. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. Really open up, squeeze your shoulder blades together for 3. Beautiful. 2, 1. Inhale, take your arms all the way up to the sky. Take your hands to frame your left foot and just pop your right foot to meet your left, standing forward fold. Beautiful. Deep breaths here. Everybody interlace your fingers right behind your head. Good. Slowly come up 1 vertebrae at a time so that your head is the last piece of this puzzle. Beautiful job, you guys. So keep your hands behind your head. We're going to do a little side stretch. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, kick your ribs to the left. Go up and over to the right. Send your elbows towards the back of the room. Press your head into your hands into your head. Internally rotating your thighs towards the back of the room. Really open up your chest here. Beautiful, David. For 3, a little bit farther. 2, 1. Good. Come all the way back to center. Kick your hips to the right. Go up and over to the left. Send your elbows towards the back of the room. Engage your belly here. So good. Can you come down a little bit further? For 3, engage your core. 2, 1, come all the way back up. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale, take your arms out and up, really reaching to the sides of the room, reaching to the ceiling. And then exhale, swan dive down to a forward fold. Beautiful. Now everybody take your left leg to the back of your mat. Take your right arm up to the sky, coming into a little twist. Good. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Radiating energy out of your fingertips. So really strong arm here. Beautiful. Can you twist a little bit more through your belly? For 3, 2, 1. Slowly take your right hand down. Sneak your left toes farther back behind you. And then set your left knee down. Untuck your toes. Take your arms up to the sky. Beautiful. So really engage your belly here. So trying to knit your bottom ribs together. It's really engaging your belly. So good. Now interlace your fingers except your index finger. Inhale, extend up. Extend your spine. Exhale, chin to chest. Round your back. Get your index fingers to your big toe, saluting the sun. Inhale, come all the way back up. Really engage your core to keep your balance. Beautiful. And then release your hands. Bend your elbows. Open up your chest. Even try to look up. So good, you guys. Everybody looks really awesome. For 3, a little bit more open for 2. 1, slowly take your hands to frame your head. Take your hands around your right foot. Take your left foot to meet your right. Standing forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take your arms out and up above you, reaching tall. Good, and now interlace your fingers except your index finger. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, kick your hips to the left. Go up and over to the right. Open up your chest as much as you can. Good, so taking your left shoulder back, your left hip forward. So you're trying to streamline your body here. Press your palms together as much as you can. For 3, 2, 1. Good, come back to center. Inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, kick your hips to the right. Go up and over to the left. Really pressing your palms together, internally rotating your thighs. Beautiful, taking your right shoulder back, your right hip forward for 3. A little bit farther for 2. 1, inhale, come all the way back up to center. Release your hands to your sides. Good. Inhale, take your arms out and up. Reach to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to a plank pose. Inhale to shift forward. Come up to your tippy toes. Exhale, take your knees down. Untuck your toes. Slowly come down to your belly. Elbows grazing your rib cage. So good. Now take your arms out in front of you, palms face down. Beautiful work, you guys. On an inhale, start to lift your arms off the earth. And then exhale, swim your arms towards your sides. Open up your chest. Yeah, so you might hit something, I guess. Inhale, take your arms out in front of you. Exhale, take your arms to your sides. Open up. See if you can lift a little bit higher. Inhale, take your arms out to the front of the room. Inhale, reach your arms towards the back of the room. I swear this is the last time. Now lift up a little bit higher for 3. Now lift your legs up. 2. Squeeze your shoulder blades together for 1. Good, slowly come down. Take your right ear to the mat. Take your arms by your sides. Beautiful job, you guys. Deep breaths. Let's all meet in downward facing dog whenever you guys are ready. So we're going to get started on our pretty long sequence on this leg. So I understand that you're going to be shaking a little bit, and that's good. We're building muscle. Okay. Inhale, take your right leg up and back behind you, tripod, down dog. So make sure your toes are pointed towards the earth. You're really kicking through your heel. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. And then exhale, bring your knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists. Beautiful. Inhale, extend out and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, out and up. This is the last time. Exhale, knee to nose. You're gonna hold it here for 3. Really squeeze in 2. Use your core 1. And slowly plant your foot in between your hands. Beautiful. So make sure it makes it in between your hands. Just grab your ankle and pull it there if it doesn't already. Okay, so come up to your finger pads. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Inhale, lift your arms up to the sky, coming into high lunge. Beautiful. So same rules apply. Squeezing your belly. So knitting your lower ribs together. Beautiful. Now take your left arm forward, right arm back for a twist. Try to look behind you. Palms facing the right side of the room. For 3. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. 2. 1. Good. Come back to center. Take your right arm forward, left arm back. Warrior 2 pose. Beautiful. So your back heel is down for this. Back toes in 5 to 10 degrees. Beautiful. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, really radiating energy out of your fingertips. And make sure your hips are level here. So we kind of had the tendency to kick the left hip up. So make sure you're level, okay? Really squeeze your shoulder blades together. Sit low into your right leg. So good, you guys. Everybody looks awesome. So engage your belly. Tuck your tailbone under here. Now everybody come up to the ball of your front foot. Can you sit an inch lower? So good. Take your heel down. And on an inhale, start to shift towards the front of the room. Exhale, flip your right palm up, taking your right arm up and over for peaceful warrior. So try to have your right arm straight. Okay, straight and strong, yes. And then open up your chest towards the ceiling. So good, you guys. We're here for 3 more breaths. Really twisting to open. Can you come down a little bit further for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back into warrior 2. Beautiful work. 3 breaths in warrior 2. Make it your best warrior 2 yet. Now inhale, start to shift forward, and then take your right forearm to your right thigh, and then take your left arm towards me. Well, in a second. I can't hear myself. Okay, so take your arm towards me. Yeah, and then plug your shoulder into its socket, and then take your arm up and over your ear. Yes, so pinky towards the floor. So internally rotating your arm, and then try to look up. So really opening up your chest towards the ceiling here. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Relax your face. It has nothing to do with this pose. You guys look so good. For 3, 2, 1. Come back to warrior 2. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Good. Now turn all 10 toes towards the right side of the room. So you're coming onto the left razor edge of your left foot. Take your right arm up to the sky. Yes. And if you want to come into side plank, you can do so. Beautiful. Can you lift your hips up a little bit higher? For 3, 2, 1. Slowly take your right hand down. And then come into a plank position, so taking your right foot back. And just shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Beautiful, deep breaths here. Then inhale your right leg up to the sky. And on an exhale, plant it on the outside of your right hand. So we're coming into lizard pose. And take your left knee down, or you can keep it up if you want a more active lizard. Okay? And then you can grab your block if you need it to make sure you have a flat spine in this pose. Okay? So sink into your hips. So you're stretching out your hips here. Breathe into sensation. I know this isn't the most comfortable pose in the world. And you can come onto the pinky edge side of your right foot too, just to kind of open up your hips in a different way. So see if you can bring your foot towards the front of your mat a little bit to make sure your knee is right above your ankle. Yes. Good, so good. And then if you want to take a little lizard variation, with your right hand, you can grab the outside of your right foot. And then open up your chest towards the sky. It's a little quad stretch, but you don't have to take it. Whatever feels good to you. Few more deep breaths here. Good, and then slowly start to shift your hips back, straightening out your right leg, coming into half splits. So you might walk your right foot towards your midline a little bit more because it tends to go out in lizard. Here you go, deep breaths here. 2 more breaths. Good, slowly start to walk your hands, re-bending into your right knee. So you're coming into this low lunge. Okay. So take your left knee off the mat. Have your left toes tucked, and on an inhale, lift your arms back up to the sky, coming into high lunge, still on our right leg. So good. So I know it's getting a little shaky. You're getting a little bit tired in this right leg. I know it. I can feel it, okay? Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Then exhale, airplane arms. Take your arms towards the back of the room. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, shoot your arms back. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, back. Inhale, reach up. This is the last one. Exhale, back. Now start to launch off of your left foot, coming into warrior 3. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. So good. So just try to be a straight line of energy. Now on an inhale, start to swim your arms towards the front of the room. Exhale, take your arms back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back. You guys can do this. Okay, hold it back here for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come into standing splits. So taking your hands to your mat, keeping your left leg lifted. Now start to stack your hips towards the left side of the room, taking your left arm up to the sky, coming into half moon. This is not easy, I know. It hurts. Here, take your block. Yeah, it's gonna help. For 3, lift your leg a little bit higher. For 2, 1, slowly take your left arm down. Keep your leg lifted for 3. Standing splits. 2, 1, slowly take your left leg down. So now you know what I mean, that we're gonna be spending a lot of time on that leg. All right, great job, guys. So we're gonna get a break in a second, okay? So inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. Good, now everybody take your right forearm down, then your left forearm down, start to walk your toes towards your elbows, coming into dolphin pose. We'll just be here for 5 breaths, and then we get child's pose. Breathing for 1, breathing for 2, breathing for 3, breathing for 4, breathing for 5. Come into a child's pose. Take your knees down, untuck your toes, sit your hips back. Your arms can be by your sides or out in front of you, whatever feels good to you. It's a good time to towel off, grab some water if you need it. Y'all getting sweaty yet? Deep breaths here, just reconnecting to your breath. Remember that everything is just an addition to this breath. Good, let's all meet in downward facing dog whenever you're ready. Remember, you can always come back to this place whenever you need it. No worries. I want you guys to want to come back to yoga tomorrow. So if that means you have to take more breaks, then please do so, okay? Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. Tripod down dog, toes pointed towards the earth. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher using your glute. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend out and up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, out and up. This is the last time. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Plant your left foot in between your hands. Beautiful. So come up to your finger pads. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift up to the sky, coming into high lunge. Beautiful. So shoulders away from your ears, pinkies towards each other. Sit low as you can. Good. Now send your right arm forward, left arm back. Coming into a little twist. You've got it. So twist through your belly here. Can you sit a little bit lower? Squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit more for 3, 2, 1. Take your arms up to the sky. Open up warrior 2 on your left side. Beautiful. So open up your hips towards the right side of the room. So sending your knee towards your pinky toe. Got some Fleetwood Mac in there. Good. So sitting low. Make sure your knee is right above your ankle here. Everybody looks really good. Now inhale, start to shift towards the front of the room. Exhale, flip your left palm towards the ceiling. Take your left arm up and back behind you, reversing your warrior. Now internally rotating your arms, so good. Then opening up your chest towards the ceiling. Beautiful work, you guys. Can you come down a little bit further? Sit low into your left leg for 3, 2, 1. Good. Slowly come back to warrior 2. Start to shift towards the front of the room. Take your left forearm to your left thigh and take your right arm towards me. Now plug your shoulder in and then take your right arm up and over your ear, sitting low, and then try to open up your chest towards the ceiling. So good, you guys. For 3, you've got this. 2, 1. Good. Come back to warrior 2. Let's be here for 3 breaths. Sit low. Palms facing the floor. Beautiful. Slowly start to cartwheel your hands. To frame your left foot, turn all 10 toes towards the left side of the room, coming into a modified side plank. And then you can stack your left foot on top of your right, coming into side plank. So your toes are going to be facing, yeah, you're right. Yeah, and then just take your left arm to the sky. Does that feel weird? This foot needs to come back a little bit more. Good, we're going to be here for 3 more breaths. Can you lift your hips up a little bit higher for 3, 2, 1. Good. Take your left hand down. Come into a plank pose. Then just take your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Deep breaths here. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. Coming into lizard on the left side. On an exhale, plant your left foot on the outside of your left hand. So you can take your right knee down. If you want a less active pose. Good. And then sink low into your hips. I've got a really random playlist today if you haven't noticed. Sink low. And you can come onto the pinky edge side of your left foot if that feels good to you. Good, let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Good, then slowly start to shift back, straightening out. Oh wait, come back into lizard pose. I forgot the variation. So if you took the lizard variation on the other side, taking your left hand to grab the outside of your right foot, you can do so here. Open up your chest towards the ceiling for 3, 2, open up your chest, 1. Good, and slowly release. Now shift your hips back, straightening out your left leg. Good, deep breaths. Two more breaths here. Good, slowly start to rebend into your left knee. Good, taking your hands to frame your left foot, then tuck your right toes, taking your right knee off the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, preparing for high lunge here. Shoulders away from your ears. And on an inhale, take your arms up to the sky, coming into high lunge. Beautiful work, everybody. Inhale, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, shoot your arms back, airplane. Inhale, reach forward. Up. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, airplane. We just have one more. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, airplane. Good, then launch off your right foot, coming into warrior three with airplane arms. You've got this. Beautiful work, you guys. So strong. And then start to reach towards the front of the room on an inhale. Exhale, swing your arms back towards the back of the room. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, back. One more time. Inhale, reach forward. It's okay if you fall over. Exhale, take them back. Good. Then take your hands to your mat, coming into standing splits. Then start to open up your hips towards the right side of the room, coming into half moon. Take your right arm up to the sky. So good, you guys. For 3, open up your hips. 2, 1. Slowly take your right hand down. Keep your leg lifted for 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down. Forward fold. Grab opposite elbows here. Deep breaths. Good. Slowly release your hands to your mat. Inhale, come up halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand tall, reach up to the sky. Beautiful. Exhale your hands to your heart. So just come back to yourself for a moment. Shoulders away from your ears. Take some deep breaths. Remember your intention. Remember what brought you to your mat. Good. Slowly start to open your eyes. Now take your arms out at goal pose. We're coming into eagle pose. Okay. Then swing your right arm under your left arm, crossing at your elbows and your wrists. Yes. And now sit your hips low, coming into a chair. Then cross your right leg over your left leg, crossing at your thighs, and try to sneak your toes behind your calf. Okay? I'm not going to over all kinds of things today. Okay? Then take your shoulder blades towards the front of the room. So you should feel a back stretch here. Beautiful. Take your upper body back. Back, 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 back. Yes, for 3. Sit a little bit lower, 2. I just knocked you over, I know. 1. Slowly release your arms. Swing your arms up to the sky. Then just immediately swing your left arm under your right. Sit low, chair pose. Take your left leg over your right leg, crossing your thighs. Sneak your toes behind your calf. Sit low. Wrap your shoulder blades towards the front of the room. Good. Take your elbows up. Take your upper body back. So good, you guys. Can you sit a little bit lower? Can you put weight into your heel for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale, come up halfway, lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a plank pose. Beautiful. Inhale to shift forward. Exhale, take your knees down. Untuck your toes. Slowly come down to your belly. Beautiful. Now interlace your fingers at the small of your back, so at your lower back here. Try to press your palms together. Squeeze your elbows together behind you. And on an inhale, lift your chest off of the mat. So good. Sending your knuckles towards the back of the room for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come all the way down. Take your right ear to the mat. Release your arms to your sides. Deep breaths. Gonna do that one more time. Interlace your fingers, the small of your back. Good, press your palms together. And on an inhale, lift your arm, you lift your chest off the mat, sending your knuckles towards the back of the room. Really open up your chest for 3, 2, 1. Now lift your legs up for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come down, take your left ear to the mat. Sit back into a child's pose. Great job, you guys. We just have one more quick standing series. You're done all the hard stuff, I swear. Four more deep breaths here. Good, and then slowly send your hips up and back for downward facing dog pose. I know this is a pretty tough practice today, so please feel free to take more breaks than I suggest. So just feel down dog right now. Feel how it's feeling different, okay? So really pushing your chest towards the ceiling, your heels down. Deep breaths. Inhale your right leg up and back behind you. And on an exhale, just plant your foot in between your hands. Beautiful. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky, coming into high lunge. Open up, warrior two, right side. Inhale, start to shift forward. Exhale, flip your right palm. Take your right arm up and back behind you. Then exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, reach towards the front of the room. Exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh. Take your left arm towards the front of the room. 2 breaths here. Oh, plug your shoulder in. Sorry, guys. Take your arm up and over your ear. For 3, 2, 1. Come back, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Turn all 10 toes towards the right side of the room for side plank or modified side plank. Just for 3 breaths. Good. Slowly take your right arm down. Take your right foot back, plank pose if you're not in there. Yeah, now take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. This is our last series. On an exhale, just plant your foot in between your hands. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky, coming into high lunge. Beautiful. Open up, warrior two, left side. Inhale to reach forward. Exhale, flip your left palm, go up and over. Reversing your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Inhale, start to reach towards the front of the room. Exhale, take your left forearm to your left thigh. Take your right arm up and over towards the front of the room, coming into extended side angle. Beautiful. 3 breaths here. Good. Slowly come back, warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Turn all 10 toes towards the left side of the room. Take your left arm up to the sky. You can come into full side plank if you would like. 4 more breaths here. 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly take your left hand down. Come back into a plank pose. Then send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So good. This is our last down dog of the day, pretty much. So make it count. I think anyway. So really engage your lower belly here. Sending your heart towards the back of the room. Deep breaths. Good. Inhale your right leg up and back behind you. We're coming into pigeon pose. And on an exhale, just take your right knee right behind your right wrist. Kick your foot over to the right. Send your left leg back behind you. Beautiful. So to make this pose more intense, you can make your shin more parallel to the front of your mat. Then walk your hands towards your hips. Inhale, open up your chest. See if you can even interlace your fingers behind you, opening up your chest, squeezing your palms together for 3. Open up your chest, 2, 1, slowly release, and just walk your hands out in front of you. So just relax down, deep breaths. Notice where you're putting more weight. So try to even out your weight distribution. Deep breaths. And if you want to take a little pigeon variation, okay, you can point your left toes towards the sky doing a quad stretch, just like we did in lizard, and grabbing the inside of your left foot. Yeah, and then open up your shoulders towards the front of the room here. Deep breath. Three more breaths here. Really open up your chest, even getting a shoulder stretch. Good, and slowly release. Good. Now plant your hands. Take your right foot up and back behind you. And then start to bend your knee and stack your hips towards the right side of the room. And if flipping your dog is in your practice, you can take that here. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful work, you guys. Let's all be in down dog whenever you guys are ready. Beautiful. Inhale your left leg up and back behind you. And exhale, plant your left knee right behind your left wrist. Kick your foot over to the right. So you're creating a diagonal between your knee and your ankle, okay? And then walk your hands towards your hips. Inhale, puff up your chest. Try to interlace your fingers behind you, squeezing your palms together for 3. Open up for 2, 1, and slowly release. Walking your hands out in front of you. Deep breath. See if you can send your left hip more towards your right heel, just evening out your weight distribution. Relax your face, even relax your hands. We store a lot of old emotion and tension in our hips. So if you feel any emotions or anxieties come up, just let them go. And if you want to take a pigeon variation on this side, you can bend up your right knee, and then with your right hand, grab the inside of your right foot, and then open up your chest towards the front of the room. So even if you can't reach your foot, but you can still feel a stretch, that's perfectly fine. Three more breaths. Good, and slowly release. Plant your hands, start to put weight into your hands if you're still in pigeon. Okay. And then take your left leg up and back behind you. Coming into tripod down dog, and then bend your knees. Start to stack your hips towards the left side of the room, and then if you want to flip your dog, you can do that. If you flip your dog, really open up your chest towards the front of the room. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to your down dog. Beautiful, deep breaths here. Now this is your last down dog, I swear. So make it count. Sending your heels towards the earth. So good. Take 3 more deep breaths here. Good, and then slowly come down to your knees. And just come seated at the top of your mat. How's everybody doing? Okay? All right, so we're seated. So I want you guys to start to walk your left fingers towards the left side of the room, taking your right arm up and over. So it's kind of like that side angle we did, but we're seated. And then open up your heart towards the ceiling. Good, and then look forward. And then just drop your arm down even with your shoulder and relax your neck towards the left. So you should feel like a really nice neck stretch here. Releasing your ear towards your shoulder. Breathe into your neck for 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to center. Take your hands on your knees. Good, let's do the other side. So walk your right fingers towards the right side of the room. Taking your right arm up and over your right ear. And then open up your chest towards the ceiling, pinky towards the floor. Feeling a nice side stretch. You can even come down to your forearm if possible. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up. Then just take your arm out, even with your shoulder. And relax your ear down towards your right shoulder. Good, so you should feel a really nice neck stretch here, releasing. So we store a lot of tension and anxiety in our neck and in poses, so this kind of helps to just release that. Good, and just come back to neutral. Now take the bottoms of your feet together. Coming into little butterfly pose. Okay. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold over your legs. Breathe into your inner thighs. Trying to have a flat spine here. And slowly come back up. And then just take your legs out in front of you. Okay, inhale, reach up tall. And on an exhale, just fold over your legs. Just trying to maintain a flat spine if possible. Keeping your heart open. Good, and then slowly release, coming on to your backs. One vertebrae at a time. Beautiful work, you guys. We're going to come into bridge pose. So take the bottoms of your feet to your mat, walking your heels towards your sitting bones. Palms face down on the mat. And on an inhale, start to lift your hips off the mat. Beautiful. And then you can walk one shoulder and then the other underneath you. Send your heart towards the back of the room. Then move your chin away from your chest just an inch. Pretend like there's a block in between your legs. You're squeezing the block, so keep your knees in for 3. A little bit higher for 2. 1, and slowly come all the way down. Beautiful. Now take your arms out to a T. And just cross your right leg over your left. Beautiful. So all the way crossing. And then just take your knees over to the left, your gaze to the right. For our final little spinal twist. So just see if you can let gravity pull you deeper into this twist by letting go of tension. Good, and slowly come back to center and just switch the cross of your legs. So taking your left leg over your right, send your legs over to the right, your gaze to the left. Just relax into this twist. Good, and slowly come back to center. And then take your knees into your chest. Really give yourself a really big squeeze for rim relieving pose. Good, so try to even grab opposite elbows here. Squeeze in tight and even scrunch up your face for 3. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2, 1, and slowly release all the way to the ends of your mat. Coming into our final resting pose. So palms face up. Let your toes splay away from your body. Relax your brow. Relax your face. Come back to your intention. Please stay here as long as you can. This is your time, your space. Shavasana is really important in our practice because it helps all the benefits integrate into your mind, body, and spirit. So again, I urge you to stay here for at least 20 more breaths. The light, love, and potential that lives within me recognizes and bows to that same light, love, and potential that lives within each and every one of you. In the name of the highest good, namaste.